Hey, what's up there, DSL Ferris? Today I'm going to show you how you can remove and replace the rear control arms on your vehicle. Alright, so since we're going to be raising and supporting the rear of the car for this repair, it's important that we block both our front wheels. We also want to make sure the car is in park if it's an automatic or in gear if it's a manual. Alright, next we're going to raise and support the rear of the car in jack stance. Alright, and here's some general symptoms of a bad control arm, which are basically rattling or clunking or just vibration when you drive over dips or bumps in the road. And whatever side you suspect has a bad control arm, you can always just raise that side and then put your hands in the 3 and 9 o'clock positions, and then also at 12 and 6 o'clock, and then rock it back and forth, see if you can hear or feel any noise or vibration. Kind of like we do here. Alright, so in order to get to all the bolts and nuts that hold our control arm in place, we're going to have to remove our wheel. Now this car has 2 control arms for each rear wheel. This is the rear control arm on our rear wheel, and if we just move forward, here's the front control arm for our rear wheel. Now these are held in place with this one bolt that goes through both the control arms and the hub, and this nut and washer on this end. Alright, now on this car, this is the only control arm that's bad. The front one is okay. I mean, it's still pretty worn. It's going to go bad soon, but for some reason these control arms are super expensive for these cars, and the owner of this car doesn't really want to spend the money right now. So I'm just going to replace this control arm, which is bad. Alright, so what I'm going to do next is to get my 19mm socket with my pry bar over this and then twist this off. There we go. And if you have trouble taking these out, just spray them with some PB Blaster and wait a couple of minutes. It'll be a lot easier. There we go. Alright, now that we got it loose from this end, we're going to come underneath the car, and now we're going to have to get it loose from that end as well. Alright, so these things here look pretty rusty, so I'm actually going to spray these with some PB Blaster first. Next I get my 19mm with my ratchet on this end. Next we're going to have to move back here and then get a ratchet or a wrench on the bolt that's here as well. There we go. Alright, now we'll hold one with one hand and then twist out the other. That's the plan at least. Alright, looks like to get this loose I'm going to need to use my pry bar as well. Alright, looks like this one might be a bit of a pain, so I'm just going to use my air gun to take it off. Nope, not going to happen. Time to break out the torch. Alright, but before I start using the torch on this nut, I'm actually going to get some water. Spray this whole area with some water and then wipe things down as much as I can, because PB Blaster is somewhat flammable, and once you start using the torch there's a chance that you can catch things on fire. Also, just to let you know, this propane torch I got here, it's only about 30 bucks at Home Depot. Alright, and the way I'm going to do this is to just switch from side to side on the, just around the nut, and that way the nut expands and the stud hopefully won't, and then it'll be easier screwing off this nut. Alright, now we basically do the same thing for this bolt so that we can get this bracket off and then remove our control arm. There we go. Right now we get to remove this bracket and then remove our control arm. Alright, so a slight change in plans. I was able to find new control arms for this car for a decent price online, but the problem is they won't get here until about a week. So as a temporary fix, I just went to the junkyard and picked up this used control arm, and that's what we're going to put in here for now. But when the new ones get here, I'll do a separate video showing you how you can replace both control arms on the left side of this car. It's a little bit more involved if you're replacing the other one, so you may want to make sure you stay tuned for that one. Alright, but before you install this on the car, you want to put the new control arm next to the old one and make sure they're both the same length. Now, we're lucky and these are exactly the same length, but if yours aren't, you want to undo these locking nuts, and then you can screw this part in or out to match the length of the old one, and then lock these when you match the length, and then you're ready to put this on your car. Alright, so we're going to have to put this on the studs at the same time. You might have to adjust your circle to line them up, and then just push them in all the way. Like that. Also, you may have noticed when we took this off, it didn't have a washer that we have on this side, so it shows that someone's been here before. I don't know now. I don't know if the looseness here was due to the washer being absent here, and as a result, the bushings getting damaged or soft over time. But anyway, I got a washer that I'm gonna put on here for now. Next, we'll install our bracket. All right, next I'll slowly just run these down with my impact gun, but then I'll use my torque wrench to torque them down. There's one. All right, next we'll torque this nut down. And next we'll put on our wheel. All right, now let's check our work. Well, good news is it's better, but bad news is, and it's not really bad news, we kind of knew this. There is looseness on this side a little bit. I don't know if you guys can tell, but this is just a tire moving. I can feel the movement on this side, but on this side, it's pretty firm. Well, we kind of knew that anyway. That's why we're getting 2 new control arms. Now we're just gonna have to wait about a week or so before they get here, and then swap out both of them. Alright, and that's all there is to removing and replacing your rear control arms. If you found anything in this video useful, please give this video a thumbs up. You may also want to consider checking out some of my other videos. I'll put some of them on the screen as video links so you can just click on it. Alright, thanks for watching. See you next time.